I've actually been quite a critic of net zero. And that to me is, the reasons to be critical of net zero are the reasons that the net zero standard is needed. There's enormous number of net zero pledges out there. Everyone and their brother has a pledge of being net zero by 2050. And those pledges are empty. They're pledges of distant action, if they're pledges of action at all. They say absolutely nothing. In contrast to what's needed is actually action this decade. If we're going to stay below 1.5, we have to reduce emissions to zero or close to zero in the next decade or two. And so any sort of net zero pledge out to 2050 is quite meaningless. And so what a net zero standard does is, what the SBTI net zero standard does is moves that time frame forward, right? So that we're not talking about what our company is going to do in 2050, but there's near-term targets of what our company is going to do 5 years from now. That's the critical information that we need. So that's why a net zero standard is needed, because all of the net zero claims that are out there are wish lists, are inventions. The SBTI net zero standard is science-based. It looks at 1.5C and what the IPCC has said, and what the IPCC has said needs to happen in the coming decade. And so that, I think, is the real contribution of a standard that actually isn't looking out to 2050, but that is looking at what do companies need to do in the next 5 years? What do companies need to do in the next 10 years to stay below 1.5? And so, companies need to embrace the net zero standard because it's the right thing to do for us, for our children, for our children's children, for the future of the planet. The net zero standard it's the best guidepost that we have out there right now.